Hello everyone, my name is Rahul Desai and I am a student of Department of English, and we are celebrating the Teachers Day virtually. On this Teachers Day, I select one topic, A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. Now let's begin with the topic. These are the table of contents which I discussed in this topic, related this topic. And now let's begin with the introduction of author Ernest Hemingway. Ernest Hemingway, one of the most famous and renowned novelist, short story writer, and he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1954. He succinct and lucid prose style. His succinct and lucid prose style very well famous and very well popular in many works of art, extend a powerful influence on American and as well as British literature in 20th century. Ernest Hemingway introduced the iceberg theory, and Ernest Hemingway mostly used in his work themes like loss, war, love, and conflict of war and brutality of war. And he very well shows in his work like reality of war and impact of the war. Now let's discuss the introduction of novel, A Farewell to Arms. A Farewell to Arms is very famous and most remarkable novel in this English literature. This novel particularly delves themes like love, loss, emotions, brutality, reality of wars, and many more things. This novel, Farewell to Arms, published in 1929, and this novel, Farewell to Arms, is considered Hemingway's breakout novel and one of the best American novels to come out of World War I. It is also notable for its autobiographical elements. In this novel, we can observe or we can find about the autobiographical elements to the context or content line. In this novel, we can find these are the characters, main characters like Frederick Henry, Catherine Bartley, Helen Ferguson, the priest, and Rinaldi. Frederick Henry is a protagonist of this novel, and Catherine Bartley is a nurse, in the hospital. Let's see the plot overview of this novel. Plot overview very interesting. Is very interesting to convey the message of love, war, reality of war, and emotions between the couple, emotions between the characters. Henry, an American medic in the Italian army, meets Catherine, an English nurse aide, while touring Italy after the war winds down. After the sometime Catherine and after the meeting of some time, Catherine and Frederick falling in love with each other, and Henry is scheduled to return to the front after the 3 weeks of convalescence leave from the war, leave from the army, and leave from the battlefield. In the end of the novel, we can find the Catherine dies. Henry reunites with a pregnant Catherine, and they settle in Switzerland. After that, Catherine dies in childbirth after losing the baby. Henry is left alone after Catherine dies. This is the plot overview of the storytelling, storyline, and rising actions, and falling love, war, and many of events you can see here. emotional intensity, and many more things we can find in this novel. Now let's discuss the theme, the major theme of love and war. We can observe or we can find the theme of love and war in this novel. Central theme of love and war is the contrast between brutality of the war and the tenderness of love. The novel portrays World War One as a brutal and senseless conflict that devastates lives. Through the protagonist Frederick, Henry, and Hemingway depicts the humor of war, the death, suffering, and disillusionment it brings. Hemingway very well portrays in the novel conflict between love and war, reality of war, conflict of death and live life, and many more things. Also, the character suffering between the emotion and feeling and love and many more things. The intense emotions brought about by the war intensify Henry and Catherine's relationship. Their love blossoms in the shadow of death, creating a sense of urgency and desperation that might not exist in Persian. Many more things we can observe by the theme of love and war in this novel. Now let's discuss the historical context. In this novel, the Hemingway connected the historical context in this novel. Interestingly, we find the historical context in this novel. A Farewell to Arms is set against the historical context and background of geographical background of World War One. World War One as a backdrop. World War One, the novel is set against the backdrop of World War One, particularly focusing on the Italian front. Hemingway uses the war to explore the themes of disillusionment, the brutality of war, and search of meaning in the chaotic world. Then Italian campaign and the Corporato retreat. The novel Farewell to Arms is highlight the lesser known Italian front of World War One, where the Austro-Hungarian forces fought against the Italians. Then Hemingway's war experience. Hemingway's war experience is like an autobiographical element. We can find the autobiographical element here. Hemingway drew heavily from his own experience in World War One. We can observe the Hemingway's own experience in this settlement or context. Particularly his time and action, ambulance driver in Italy, to craft the novel's plot and characters. The Red Cross and ambulance service. The Red Cross, the protagonist's involvement with the Italian Red Cross ambulance service reflect the importance of these organizations during the war. Social and cultural context. We can find also the social and cultural context in this novel. The novel also touches on the changing roles of women during the war. Catherine Barclay and the female protagonist represent the shift in women's roles from the traditional to more active participants in society. We conflict between society and women role in the society. Now let's discuss the danger of imagination. In this novel, we can find the danger of imagination. Which kind of? Let's see. Hemingway's novel of Farewell to Arms has been most damaged by critical misunderstanding. When you read or when some readers or viewers read this novel, at that time they find some kind of misunderstanding of themes, misunderstanding of context, and misunderstanding of many more things. A good soldier does not worry. He knows that nothing happens until it actually happens, and you live your life with until then. Danger only exists at the moment of danger. When you are feel the danger, at that time you fall down in the danger. The individual elements all such things as potential danger. Significantly, courage is not founded on the any intellective process or the commitment to a particular code of action. One's imagination cannot be suspended by either resignation or the exaltation of we. We are need to not give up. Soldiers are not feel like a give up in any kind of war or any kind of particular danger situations. They fight for the freedom, fight for the emotions, fight for the freedom from every thoughts of negative thoughts. Now let's see the critical reception of this novel. Upon its release, A Farewell to Arms received a mixed review. We can find the mixed review to this novel, but has since gained widespread acclaim. Critics have praised Hemingway's ability to convey the cities of human emotions amid war. Critics also find some kind of human emotions which are the connected with the war, which are the connected with the reality of war and after the situation of the war. Long-term impact. After the war, we feel the long-term impact on our mind, on our situation, on our family background, on our everything. After the war happened, we find the many long-term impact in our society, in our life. And also after the war we damaged the cultural background, and after the war Farewell to Arms also the damaged the cultural impact. We see the cultural impact on the society and humans life also. Now let's conclude our lecture. Like instead he concludes the novel with this last line, but after I had got out and shut the door and turned off the light, it wasn't any good. Now let's see the conclusion. Instead, he concludes the novel with this last line, but after I had got out and shut the door and turned off the light, it wasn't any good. It was like saying goodbye to a statue. After a while, I went out and left the hospital and walked back to the hotel in the rain. We can clearly observe that somewhere the conclusion of the story is happy and positive manner. Ernest Hemingway also gave the positive and happy ending to the novel. And these are the works cited. And thank you so much. I also prepared a quiz on this lecture. Please attend the quiz and you get automatically your e-certificate on your email. And I also post this video on this my TED Ed account. Please go through the video and all the activities you can do. Thank you.